Hey guys, plenty of videos here on YouTube that go over the differences in these in way more detail. Not that there's a lot, but I wanted to make a quick video just kind of showing the two main features that judge which truck I'm going to be putting these in. So as you can see off the bat, from the exterior they're almost identical. They come from the exact same manufacturer. The casting on the motors are exactly the same. The sensor connectors are exactly the same. The casting on the heat sinks and the ESC are exactly the same, though Spektrum does spend a little bit more money to get their logo cast in. The power buttons and set switches are different, but the length of the wires are exactly the same on each unit. So the big difference is going to be what's inside. And this is where they do start to separate. Now, to be honest, the Spektrum is going to do everything that the Hobbywing can do, though you are going to pay just a tad bit more for it. The Hobbywing will be just a tad bit smoother at lower speeds. But, I mean, unless you're in a competition where they're judging how smooth the crawler is, it's really not going to matter. At the end of the day, you're going to get to the exact same place. But the Hobbywing has Bluetooth, so you can connect your phone or tablet or whatever to it and do all your programming from there. It even has a nice little dashboard that gives you some pretty good readouts while you're on the trail. So that is, for me, the biggest plus for the Hobbywing. For the Spektrum, the biggest plus for the Spektrum is that it is solderless. So it's really easy if you have a lot of RCs like I do. I got about 36 now. So it would be ridiculous to buy one of these for each single truck. So I'll buy something cheaper for the trucks to run most of the time. But if I need something with some better power, better management, I'll put one of these in. But the Spektrum is a lot easier to swap in and out due to not having solder points on it. Spektrum does make an extension for these cables as well, so if you put it on a 8th scale or 6th scale crawler, it's no problem. Hobbywing does make an extension for theirs as well, which to me kind of defeats the purpose of having the solder points if you're still going to put a connection point in it, because that really is the only benefit I see to having the connection points other than price. But they still got it if you do need it. Some comments do talk about the price difference between the two. The Spektrum is a tad bit more expensive than the Hobbywing, and I see two main reasons for that. Number one is the fact that it's not solder, so during the manufacturing process, I mean, it is going to cost more to have ends put on it so that the end user doesn't have to do it. Because when you buy the Hobbywing, you just getting wires with cut ends that you have to solder, whereas with the Spektrum you are getting the actual connectors, so you can just plug it in. The second reason that I see that the Spektrum would cost more is that nice casting on the side that's kind of in the shape of their logo, whereas the Hobbywing, of course, is just your standard design for this cast. That's really the only difference that I can see that would make a price variance during the manufacturing anyway. Spektrum does put more into their manufacturing, so I mean that cost is going to get passed to the end user.